Hey, it's Darren. It's March 2026. It's almost baseball season here in St. Louis. Go Cardinals. But more importantly, it is soon to be convention season. UAW, Constitutional Convention season to be exact. I think it's June 15th it kicks off. This video will be a review of my article. How much did the strikes cost you? Higher strike pay would help. And it talks about the financial consequences of the strike. I know we hear a lot about the sacrifices. There are a lot of various kinds of sacrifices for those who take on the challenge of going on strike and walking the picket line. Specifically in this article, we're going to talk about the financial. You don't hear a lot about it. And we're going to cover why, and you'll see why, I think, by the time we're done here. So let's kick it off with the premise that there have been two strikes in the last two cycles for the big three. In 2019, the UAW struck General Motors for 40 days. And in 2023, the stand-up strike struck specific plants from all three companies, Toledo, Wayne, and Wentzville, being out, the original stand-up locals, being out for 46 days. So if you combine those, Wentzville's been out for 86 days over the last two cycles. What are the consequences of that action, right? It's great to be a leader, but the sacrifice, we're going to see exactly what that is. In 2019, let's look at this. The traditional member wage was $28 per hour, lost wages for the day were $224, and lost wages for 40 days totaled $8,960. Now, of course, part of that loss is offset by payments from the strike fund. The strike fund was a little bit different back in 19. For one, payments started on day 8. And secondly, for the first 3 weeks of that strike pay was $250, which the International soon realized that members were under financial distress at that level. They increased it $25 to $275. Still not sufficient. I managed the hall during the strike of 19. Spent a lot of time on the phone with members finding out how they were having problems getting by at that level. So we had 3 weeks at $250, 3 weeks at $275. Here's what that looked like total. How much did members lose because of that? Right, lost wages were $89.60. All 6 weeks of strike benefits totaled $1,575, leaving an actual lost income for that period of $7,385. Okay, not insignificant, right? You have to make up bills during the strike, and then if you lose money overall after it. So let's move on to 2023 to talk about the stand-up strike. 2023, some locals didn't have to strike at all. The aforementioned locals did. Let's look at the numbers. $32.32 per hour was the production wage in 2023. $258.56 per day by 46 days, right? So lost wages during that strike were $11,893.76. Now the strike fund had been increased after the 22 convention up to $500. There were 7 checks totaling $3,500 for that strike. So let's look at those numbers. $11,893.76 were the lost wages minus the strike benefits, which were paid out, of $3,500, left members with an actual loss of income of $8,393.76. So a little bit more than 2019, right? Let's see what it looked like when you combine them. Okay, we combined the 2019 and 2023 strikes. Let's look at those numbers. 19, $7,385. 23, $8,393.76 for a total earnings lost after strike fund payments had been made of $15,778.76. Right now, it's a fairly significant figure, and you know, you may have heard the phrase. I know I have my whole union career that you lose more by going out on strike than you ever make back from the benefits negotiated. That's not true. I mean, I think it's demonstrated through time that's not true. Not just for the individual member, but for the membership as a whole, and particularly those members that come in the future. But in the immediate future, let's see what it cost them, right? So to put this in perspective, let's add the 2023 ratification bonus of $5,000 to see if that offsets any of that loss. And the raise that was in the first year of the contract of $3.68, which was $3.56 in raise, plus for the first time, 12 cents in COLA. Okay, let's multiply that by 2,080 straight time hours, and we get $7,654.40. So let's combine the two: the ratification bonus of $5,000 plus the first year raise, and that total is $12,654.40. Now let's bring it into focus by looking at the earnings lost and compare it to that amount. The earnings lost, as we discussed, $15,778.76. The first year ratification bonus, raise, COLA, total $12,654.40. So the members actually ended up losing over the first year $3,124.36. So it makes it even more difficult to recover from losses during the strike, when the following year you never recoup the amount that you're out. So it is a problem. I'm not trying to discourage strikes. I am trying to encourage a way to lessen the stress and lessen the damage to members from those strikes. I believe raising strike pay to $625 is a way to do that. The raise to $500 did not hurt the strike fund. It's been sustainable. It's been increasing. As a matter of fact, it's almost, I guess, at $834 million as I make this, the last strike notification that we had. So it's increased significantly, so it can handle that amount, which is the same percentage. 625 is the same percentage of production pay that 500 was in 2023. That's why I wrote the language like that. So it'd be the same, proving it's sustainable, proving it helps members. The UAW has the largest strike fund in the country. Its purpose is to provide financial stability to members that are risking the most to earn the economic justice due to all UAW members. Increasing strike pay in 2023 has benefited members, Big Three, IPS, heavy truck, and thousands of others. Thousands of other members have benefited from that increase in the strike fund. You know, there's no reason that should be denied in the future. The increase to 625 will also send a message to our employers that we will not be starved into a contract, and that negotiation is the best way forward. And on a point of fairness, with every raise, members put more, they contribute more to the strike fund. These members, all members that do that, should receive a return on their investment. Again, that's why we did the same percentage. Okay, they're putting in, they should be able to count on, at one of their most vulnerable times, a payment that reflects their contributions, right? I mean, but most importantly, raising strike pay sends a message to members that the sacrifices made by those that are forced to strike are recognized and appreciated. The message that the entire UAW sees your sacrifice and is here to help you create a better tomorrow for all members. If you agree with this, and I have another video that explains the actual means I came to get, coming to $625, how that figure was arrived at on my YouTube channel and on TikTok. We're with the times these days. Feel free to check those out. And if you agree that we should raise strike pay, ask the delegates, the candidates for constitutional delegate that should be coming around soon in your workplace. Ask them to support $625 strike pay. All right, let's get it done. Go Cardinals.